Hey everyone, it is Lolita here, also known as the Nurse CEO. It is March the 19th, approximately 7:30 p.m., and the state of California is officially on stay-at-home orders. So I decided that I wanted to do a vlog of my experience during this coronavirus pandemic, and now that we are officially on stay-at-home orders. What's interesting is that they didn't want to use the word lockdown, but essentially it's like a lockdown. They're saying that you're only supposed to go outside for essential reasons. Essential reasons are going to the doctor, healthcare reasons, if you need to go to the bank, if you need to go to the grocery store, or things like that. Those are essential reasons. Everything else, you need to stay at home. That is why they're calling it a stay-at-home order. Now, today's events have been very interesting because at approximately, I would say, 5:30, 6 o'clock, the mayor of Los Angeles got on and did a press conference, and he declared that the county of Los Angeles is on stay-at-home orders. And the county of Los Angeles, hold a second, I wrote it down, has 7 million Angelenos inside of it. So that is a big amount of people. 7 million people were on stay-at-home orders at around 6 o'clock. And then at 6:30, the governor, Newsom, who's the governor of California, came on right behind the mayor and said that actually the entire state of California is on stay-at-home orders, and there are approximately 40 million Californians. 40 million people are now ordered to stay at home. And I actually took some notes while they were talking because this is just so surreal. The mayor stated that this is not a request to stay at home. This is an order to stay at home. So they're not making it, they're making it seem very nice while they're being very strict at the same time. So for instance, it's kind of like when you were younger and you got put on punishment or you got a whooping and your parents said to you, I'm doing this because I love you, but yet they're hurting you at the same time. Like, that's kind of how it feels right now. It feels like they're saying to us, we're just protecting you and we want you to be okay, but don't leave your house. I have a million emotions right now, like a million emotions. It's kind of like I'm numb. Because I'm thinking like, this can't be real. 40 million people are ordered to stay in their house and don't go outside unless it's for an essential reason. That's crazy. And then they told us it will be approximately until April 19th, which is exactly 1 month from today, or it could extend even longer. So today is day one of at least a 4-week stay-at-home order. It doesn't seem real, but at the same time, it seems very scary, like very scary. It kind of feels to me like something bad is about to happen, and there's a 50% chance that something bad is going to happen to you, but you have no idea if it's going to happen to you or not. So you're literally just sitting at home wondering, is it going to happen? Yeah. So really quickly, I want to back up and just talk about my experience with this whole coronavirus thing so that you can understand more into how I feel or why I feel the way that I do feel. I have been watching the news very closely out of China and Italy, when they got put on lockdown, and I knew that it was just a matter of time before it came to the United States. Like, I just knew it. So in my mind, at least a month ago, I was preparing for something like this to happen. But part of what I was thinking was maybe it won't. You know, you're always like, maybe it won't. And so on March 9th, which I haven't told anyone this, I started having coronavirus symptoms. They were very mild, but I did have it started out with diarrhea and a dry cough that was non-productive. It felt like from here to here, it was all tingly and painful. at the exact same time. So I am a member of Forward Healthcare, which is like a concierge private healthcare plan that you can join. And I immediately contacted my Forward Healthcare team via the app. And I told them, and they actually already had a screening type of protocol on the app for coronavirus. And I went through the screening protocol, but at that time it was only valid really if you had went to China or came in direct contact with someone from China. And I told them that I hadn't, but I just felt weird and horrible. I remember that earlier that day I had went to a store and I was just walking around the store shopping like I normally would, nothing strenuous, but I was out of breath. Like I couldn't shop in the store because literally while I was standing there looking at products, I was like, God, I can't breathe. Like my chest was tight. It was hard for me to breathe. I have asthma. So I thought, well, maybe it's my asthma. I used my inhaler, but it was not letting up. And so after that, it actually happened for 2 days in a row. And on the second day, I decided that maybe I should tell someone. And that's when I contacted Forward, because I literally fit all the criteria, except I wasn't in China, you know, and I have been traveling a lot lately for work. So I've been in contact with hundreds or thousands of people on airplanes in the airport, etc. I've been at conferences, you know, so I've been in contact with multiple people. But at that time, I didn't hit the criteria for testing for coronavirus. And so my doctors recommended that I go to the emergency room. Their thought process was, if you can't breathe, you have to go to the emergency room. However, I'm a nurse and I know, in my opinion, when I need to go to the emergency room, and I didn't feel that I was that bad. I noticed that whenever I would just lay down in bed and just completely relax, then the breathing was better. So I just decided to kind of self-quarantine myself in my room for 48 hours, which I did. At first I took some Benadryl because I wasn't sure if it was my allergies because I was traveling and then my asthma. So the first night I took some Benadryl, and everyone out there who knows me also knows that I am a cannabis nurse. So I always have a little bit of cannabis on hand. So I took some RSO, which is Rick Simpson oil, which is like very strong cannabis that you take like a little bitty drop of. And I took some of that and I went to bed. It helped tremendously the next morning when I woke up. But then I noticed once again, I was just walking through the house and my breathing got labored. I felt the chest tightness just walking around the house, not doing anything. So I was like, okay, this is not right. And so long story short, my doctors from Forward recommended that I take high doses of Tylenol and use my inhaler. And if the breathing got too bad, then go to the emergency room. Because essentially they're like, all we can do is treat your symptoms right now. We can't confirm whether or not you have it or not. This is all we can do for you. So I just kept medicating myself. I did my RSO every single night, and I started feeling better within, I would say, 4 days. It was super quick. It went away quickly. And so my Forward team, they're a wonderful group of people. They were texting me every single day, every single morning saying, how are you today? How are you today? How are you today? They were keeping tabs on me really good. And every day I was like, I'm better, I'm better, I'm better. And then it just went away. So more than likely I had a mild case of the virus. Maybe, we don't know. Because shortly after that, I would say maybe 2 days after I felt better, Forward emailed me to let me know that they actually had the coronavirus test. And if you're a Forward member, you can go get your test done. So I don't know how Forward got the test before everyone else or whatever the case may be. But by that time I felt better and I didn't want to get tested because I just didn't for multiple reasons. So anywho, I have been at home since the 9th, March 9th. I really haven't went anywhere. I went one place. I went to the grocery store. And I wore a mask. So that was the only place I went, but that was way after my symptoms were over. I did have a fever the first night. It actually happened while I was asleep. I just distinctly remember I was sleeping and my shirt was soaked. I woke up and I was just soaking wet. I knew I had a huge fever. I threw all the covers off of me and I was just like, oh my God. But I was so sleepy and I just fell right back asleep. I was very lethargic for a couple of days. So more than likely I had a fever. I sweated it out, thank God. And I'm all good. I'm great. Breathing's fine. Everything's good. My mother, who lives with me, I was really concerned about her because she has some medical conditions, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't transmit anything to her. So I literally stayed in my room. She made dinner and I would just eat in my room, like I didn't leave. We didn't really contact each other for a few days until it was all over. And she has been completely asymptomatic. She has had nothing. So hopefully maybe I just had a respiratory virus or whatever. We'll probably never know. I don't know. But my whole point is I've been staying at home. And ever since that little bout, I've been really, really, really interested in staying on top of the news because I wanted to know exactly what was going on with the whole coronavirus. I knew after they put Italy, the entire country of Italy, on lockdown, that was just a matter of time before the states started doing the exact same thing. In my opinion, I thought it was going to happen in a couple of weeks by like April 1st, but it's happened way sooner than I thought it would happen. For everyone out there who is living in the United States and you're living in a big metro city, it's going to happen to you too. So if you're in New York, if you're in Chicago, if you're in Atlanta, if you're in any big city with millions of people, more than likely they're going to start to lock you down or put you at stay-at-home orders, which is a nice way of saying lockdown. So my recommendations to everyone out there is to just make sure that you are prepared, of course, with all your necessities that you need. But really, you need to be mentally prepared, simply because since I've been at home for the past week and a half, it has been mentally exhausting. Like, not going outside is mentally exhausting. So the other day, me and my mom, we put on our mask and our hats and we walked around the block just to get fresh air and to like exercise a little bit because we've been sitting in this house for a long time. The other thing that really is frightening is that the governor of California stated that they are projecting that 25 million people in California will get the virus over the next 8 weeks. 56% or something like that. So 25 million people are going to get this virus. Hopefully the majority of the people have mild symptoms like I did, but statistically speaking, I think it's like 10% or 13% have severe symptoms. So my recommendation to everyone out there is just stay at home. Like, seriously, it's not worth it. If you're in a place where you're like, last night I was out with my friends having dinner and today I was at the mall shopping, well, let that be the last time and just stay at home. Just do. Like, it's so not worth it. And the fact that you can be a carrier and spread it to people and not even know that you're spreading it to people is even more scary. So just stay at home for the health of everyone out there. Mentally, it's exhausting because you're thinking like, oh my God, 25 million people in one state will be infected. Am I one of those people? Was I one of those people? Like, just the thought process is a lot. So I recommend just talking to people out there, doing a lot of virtual stuff. There's therapists that you can text now, therapists you can talk to just to work through it. Like, don't bottle up your feelings is what I recommend. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this vlog, to let you guys know how I feel over this period of time. But I literally feel kind of numb right now, but I want to cry at the same time. It's like a weird feeling because literally they say 4 weeks will be here under this order. But what if it turns into 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks? Like, it's just so much we don't know right now. That's the scary part. But anywho, I'm going to do vlogs occasionally, as much as I can, since I will be at home. And let you guys know my thought process and if any new stuff happens and how we're dealing with it here in Los Angeles County, because that's where I'm located, and I am actually in the city of Los Angeles. So yeah, it's crazy. But that's it for now. Talk to you guys later.